again, and welcome back to Right Man in the Wrong Place. My name is Luke Tatum. I react to music, and I'm so happy that you are choosing to spend a little bit of your time here with me listening to music. We're going back into Tom MacDonald. I know some of y'all love him, some of y'all hate him. It just is what it is. I always have a good time talking about the content of the lyrics, although I don't always agree with his message. There's always something interesting to talk about because he's no stranger to controversy. So Stephen Ellis requested this song. He did a Buy Me a Coffee donation so long ago, it feels like prehistory. Stephen, if you're still out there, you haven't decomposed like the dinosaurs before us, then hey, I'm getting to the reaction. Thank you for your patience. um, I just I listened to a certain amount of a certain artist, and I'm like, I think I'm done. Really, when I did the facts reaction and then the interview and some of the other things related to that one song, I thought, I'm kind of done with Tom for a minute. And so, we're back. We're back. The video, I believe, is from 2024, this year. The song is from 2022. The song we're doing today is The Machine, which, I'll be honest, in my head, I was thinking, I already did that song. But no, I did The System previously. This is The Machine. It just, to me, that's kind of like the same thing. So, I have lyrics pulled up. Let's get it going. The Machine, Tom MacDonald.
I am not Republican, I am not a liberal. Why the hell can't I just be American without getting political? The system gon' suppress us all, they don't care about the cost. How's this a democracy when we got communists in charge? Cancel culture Nazis, all they're missing is the swastikas. Honestly, this is a psychological holocaust. Pumping propaganda through the screen and straight into your brain. You ain't on a plantation, but you definitely still a slave. Race theory is indoctrinating children. Tell blacks they're disadvantaged, tell whites they got white privilege. What a brilliant way to reinforce division. If whites believe they have it easy, they will never help you fight the system. And now they burning books in untraditional ways. They just traded newspapers for the digital age. Now the facts can be deleted with no physical flames. They just change the information and the truth gets erased. They keep screaming to wake up, but they're all woke now.
Okay, we'll talk about the chorus in a second. I want to get the verse. The way these usually work, the way rap songs typically work is we'll do the verse, then we'll talk about the chorus, then we'll talk about the verse. If the chorus is different, we'll talk about it again. So, I've said on at least one or two of the previous Tom MacDonald reactions, like if you actually read the amendment to the Constitution that supposedly abolished slavery, it's not what it says. It doesn't say slavery is illegal. It just says that they have to arrest you for you to be a slave. That's what it says, okay? Go read it. That's what it says. I think I pulled it up on one of the earlier reactions. But the I'm not Republican, I'm not liberal, why the hell can't I just be American without getting political? There's a quote, and I can't remember who it's attributed to right now, but, whether or not you take an interest in politics, politics will take an interest in you. Nietzsche said, everything that the state says is a lie, and everything it has stolen, right? And that's factual. That's a factual statement. Everything might not be a lie, but it definitely stole everything that it has, right? They don't ask you for taxes and you can politely say no. They take them, and the penalty is going to jail. And if you resist, you'll die. That's how it works. So that's stealing. That's what that is. And so it's, I don't know. He seems to have more like Republican style talking points than liberal style talking points. Although if you rewind history for a while, classical liberals are what conservatism like is or should be today. Classical liberalism was a more or less conservative movement. And then the naming kind of flipped as time went on. But can you be an American without being political? Like, sure you can, but the system will take an interest in you anyway. And I think that's his point, right? It's you don't get to opt out because everything has this sort of charge to it, this political nature sort of injected into it. I won't sit here and talk all day about it, but every single new show or whatever, it has an angle. Movies have an angle. Um, you know, I haven't watched Rings of Power. I don't watch anything Netflix produces for the most part. We don't have a Netflix subscription. But, I don't want to watch it. Everything I've seen looks bad, right? And I love Lord of the Rings. But there's this infectious political angling, political maneuvering that kind of gets into everything. Literally, it's true to say that the intelligence community, the intelligence agencies, have helped write scripts for movies and shows and, placed people in the production crews for these movies and shows. Like it's a fact. Propaganda is a fact. It's not a theory. And what are they trying to convince you to do? What's their angle? I mean, that's somewhat of an open question, but there's definitely an incentive to keep people fighting each other so that they don't realize what's going on and see that the government itself is the problem, right? So, yeah, what a brilliant way to reinforce division. I mean, so far, interesting stuff. Oh, and as far as deleting things, on a Kindle or on Amazon, like I have a book I've self-published on Amazon through the Kindle program. Although I receive smaller commissions so that Kindle doesn't own my work, Amazon doesn't own my work, and I can publish it other places at the same time. I could take it to a different printing house or whatever. But you can go in and edit your book anytime. You could delete a few words, change a few words or whatever, and just hit submit again, and it'll just be different now. Everybody's Kindle version of the book will be different as soon as you hit that button. And you'll never know. It doesn't push you an update and say, oh, this sentence is now this other sentence. It's kind of this weird, like, gaslighting kind of thing. Like, what do you mean? That's what the book says. It's always said that. Right? It's weird stuff. Of course, I also have print copies of my book, too. Anyway, so let's keep going. Let's back it up a little bit so we catch the chorus.
Privilege, what a brilliant way to reinforce division. If whites believe they have it easy, they will never help you fight the system. And now they burn in books in untraditional ways. They just traded newspapers for the digital age. Now the facts can be deleted with no physical flames. They just change the information and the truth gets erased. They keep screaming to wake up, but they're all woke, not awake. We know the system has failed us and all the media's fake. I swear the government hates us, having opinions is dangerous. The system built to enslave us only works if we're afraid. I am not Republican, I am not a liberal, progressive and traditional or hitman.
Okay, I do like the chorus. That was kind of fun. I swear the government hates us. Having opinions is dangerous. Like, yeah, 100%, man. There is a wonderful song by KMFDM. I mean, if you like that kind of music, it's big beat, industrial, kind of angry music. But KMFDM is awesome. And although I'm sure they're lefties, like I say lefties. I'm sure they're liberals. They're going to use the context of this. And it doesn't matter. I love their music. I'm going to continue to love their music. They've been making awesome music for years and years and years. If there's something in a song that I don't particularly agree with, maybe that's not my favorite song. I just move on with my life, right? But and I'm not a righty. That's not what I'm saying. I don't agree with any of this stuff, just like Tom MacDonald is saying here. If you want to call me something, call me libertarian, but let's use a lowercase l because I have nothing to do with the Libertarian Party. Okay, moving on, trying to make the point here. The government hates us. I think the song is called The Government Hates You. And that's a KMFDM song, and it's awesome. So go listen to that. If you want me to do reactions, I've heard all the songs already, but KMFDM is really cool. So let's keep going. Trust the system built to enslave us only.
works if we're afraid.
It only works if
I
you're
am not
afraid.
Republican, I am not a liberal. Progressive and traditional are hitmen hired to kill the individual. They label people red or blue, divide us, they don't ever help. They want you thinking left or right, so you ain't thinking for yourself. Go ahead and vote, cause both the parties are the same side. Two teams, one coach, controlled by the same guys. Left wing, right wing, both help the same bird fly. Brainwashing everybody at the same time. The internet.
Talking about politics for a second. I was involved when Ron Paul, the great Ron Paul, was running for president in 2011, so the 2012 election. And I wasn't a delegate to the National Republican Convention. But, at that point, I was like, okay, cool. I can support this guy. He's awesome. He got me more or less on the track to reading all the stuff back here behind me. And Ron Paul had a profound impact on my life. I still don't consider myself a Republican. Okay. But the Republican National Convention, I went along with one of the delegates from Texas to the convention. It was in Tampa, Florida, and I was there. The Republican Party changed the rules so that Ron Paul could not have a shot at getting the nomination. It was Mitt Romney was the leader. And when we got there, okay, so the point of the Republican convention and a Democratic convention, the point of the convention is for all the delegates from all the different places to come together and to decide who is the nominee and to do other party business, right? But to decide who's the nominee. Excuse me. When we got to the hotel or the resort in Florida, we were given a little booklet in the very beginning. So it's kind of like your welcome to the convention kind of a thing. The very beginning of the book was talking about how proud they are of their nominee, Mitt Romney. That hadn't happened yet. He hadn't been nominated. That process was in the future. And they were like, yeah, our nominee, he's the best. And then John Boehner had a scripted voice vote, and you can find video of this, and if you want me to play it on the channel, I will. One person asks, I'll record it, do a reaction, and post it on here. It's still on YouTube. You can watch. We got footage of the teleprompter doing a voice vote, so yays and nays just yelling in the stadium, on a rule change which was going to negatively impact the delegates who supported Ron Paul. It's going to prevent Ron Paul from getting the nomination, okay? And, that's a contested topic. It's not to say he had a whole ton of delegates or whatever, but he had a large amount. And anyway, the rule change was intended to prevent Ron Paul from winning the nomination. And John Boehner did a voice vote, and we have footage of the teleprompter. All in favor say aye. All opposed say nay. And it was already scripted. The ayes have it. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, blah, 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 blah. And so, and they just kept going. There was chanting from a substantial portion of the crowd for 15 or 20 minutes into the next speaker, into the next party business, objecting and demanding a revote on the issue, like an actual vote instead of a voice vote where it's just volume. And they just steamrolled right ahead. So, all that to say, politics is not about the will of the people or anything like that. It's not. That is an illusion. It's a mind game. And anyway, I'm not political. But the Democratic Party does the same kind of stuff. It's not exclusively Republican. It's exclusively the duopoly of the two parties. Okay? Okay. I could talk all day about this, and I won't, so let's keep going.
and vote, cause both the parties are the same side. Two teams, one coach, controlled by the same guys. Left wing, right wing, both help the same bird fly, brainwashing everybody at the same time. The internet was once a place that we could get our facts from. Now it's been monopolized, it's Google or it's Amazon. Who fact checking the fact checkers? I can answer that one. The people who control the narratives through the platforms. Let me break this down for you, simple as I can, Kate. They use social conditioning to put you in the rat race. It doesn't matter if you're first or third or if you're last place, you're still a rat, and they're the cats who kill you so you can't escape. They keep screaming to wake up, but they're all woke, not awake. We know the system has failed us and all the media's fake. I swear the government hates us. Having opinions is dangerous. The system built to enslave us only works if we're afraid. I am not Republican, I am not a liberal. I am just a man who knows they're scared of a nation that's thinking critical. They kill us or they lock us up for nothing like we're criminals. Divide us cause they know that unified we are invincible. Questioning the government's agenda is controversial, but promoting guns and liquor in our music is commercial. They're confusing us with pronouns they made up to make us triggered. You can call me what you want, but just don't call me late for dinner. School teaches you to learn and never teaches you to think. So you absorb misinformation, then you practice what they preach. You ain't free, can't you see that's how they want you to act? That's called conforming to the norm, you don't need freedom for that. I'm not Republican or liberal or left-wing or right-leaning. I took the red pills cause that's who's fighting for my freedoms. And you don't need to choose to be accepted, they both fake teams. Evil runs the world now like hell ain't got no vacancy. They keep screaming to wake up.
Dang, that's pretty cool. So a lot there. I'm not gonna be able to break down every little thing. I felt like I couldn't pause. Like that was very compelling stuff. I mean, he was into it. It was fast, relatively fast rapping, and it's just awesome, totally awesome. Again, it's like I don't necessarily agree with every single little sentiment here and there, but I like that he said that he chose the red pill. Where did he say that? I'm looking for it. I took the red pills because that's what's fighting for my freedoms. That's who's fighting for my freedoms, is what I heard. Yeah, like it's so awkward that the party that's not, in power acts like they're the resistance. And then the party that when they become in power, they're like, oh my gosh, we just gonna steamroll everything and we're gonna do what we want. But they're not gonna do the things that they campaigned on doing to get elected. Then they're like, oh no, there's so much outspoken minority pressure from the other party, and so we really can't do anything. And so they campaign on lies. They lie while they're in office. They lose power again. They lie while they're out of power to get back in power so that they cannot do anything. It's just this big thing that just keeps going. The government gets bigger. The government controls more of your life. The government, and this is a point I probably made before, but it's 99.99999.99999968% of the federal government is unelected bureaucrats. The power structure is there. It doesn't matter. If re-elect everybody, get everybody out of office, put all new people in, and you've changed statistically nobody in the government. I don't know, man. Voting, it's just not how I'm going to spend my time and energy.
Red pills cause that's who's fighting for my freedoms. And you don't need to choose to be accepted, they both fake teams. Evil runs the world now like hell ain't got no vacancy. They keep screaming to wake up, but they're all woke, not awake. We know the system has failed.
I like that line, woke, not awake.
I swear the government hates us. Having opinions is dangerous. The system built to enslave us only works if we're afraid.
So fun. So fun. I prefer when there's not a guest vocalist. Like I mentioned this at the beginning, Ben Shapiro, like whatever, man, I just can't take Ben Shapiro seriously. But that was cool. And brings to mind a lot of other songs. Brings to mind a whole lot of other tangents that we could go on. I'm trying not to do just insanely long videos here lately. I want to try to get more consistent videos out rather than really drive everything into a single reaction. But school teaches you to learn and never teaches you to think. I say all the time that I learned everything I know after I dropped out of college. You know, I if anything, I'm a contrarian because I like to look at the other side and figure out what the other side's about and see what merits it might have. It's not that I take the side of the minority just for the sake of that, but if something is a majority opinion, it's worth questioning and worth looking behind the curtain and figuring out some of these things. Like, school did not go well for me. And it's not to say I didn't make good grades, because I did. But that just shows that I'm a good little, pencil pusher doing my busy work. And I mean, in world history class, I used to write short stories. That's when I got into writing short stories. I would write one almost every single day because I could finish the work for the class in about 5 minutes. Finish the worksheet. It's like I didn't have to read the chapter. I could look at the worksheet and just do it. It's like, what's a code of ethics used by samurai and, Japan, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's Bushido. There's a word bank. I can just write it in the box. I mean, there's only like one that would even work as the correct part of speech. And so it's like not hard at all. You know what I'm saying? So I just not read the chapter, do the worksheet, start writing. I didn't learn stuff in school. I've forgotten probably everything that I learned in school or learned. I think that may be all I have to say. Politics is terrible. Don't waste your time and energy and money. Do something productive with your life. Improve the lives of other people. Improve yourself. The best thing you can offer society is one improved unit, and that is you. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for being here. Stephen, again, thank you for your patience on this reaction getting out there. This was an awesome song. I really enjoyed it. So, sorry I didn't get to it sooner. It's just been a wild ride this year so far. That's all I got to say. Until next time, the right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. There's going to be another reaction video coming right up on screen. Check it out if you like this one. I really appreciate that. And if you want to support the channel, a couple of ways to do it. See you in the next video.